And this is gonna be either really good or really bad. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Please, any companies, I'm not trying to be personal with this video, but you know, sometimes criticism just needs to be criticism. Welcome everybody to the VR Games tier list, a video where, as the name suggests, I rank a bunch of VR games from a scale of S to F. What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is for me to give my honest opinions about VR games, what I think about them, what I should rate them, and then honestly, it's probably going to influence you. Just kidding, don't let it. But on the off chance that it does, I'm not responsible for anything legally, and yeah, with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so right here, I got a list of the top like 20 VR games that are currently like the most played on the MetaQuest headsets, or this thing right here. You can see it, you know it. It's the only one you'd use. Come on, don't lie to me. And many of them have different pros and different cons, and we're just gonna get into that. Firstly, we have Gym Class. So Gym Class is honestly, it's the like most popular VR sports game. Originally, as you can see, like, you know, from the logo, it was kind of a basketball, like VR basketball type. And as it got more popular with its growth through TikTok and YouTube, it slowly branched out to kind of just become like a VR sports game. And honestly, it's not bad. I haven't checked up on it in a while personally. The last time I played it was when it was just a VR basketball game. And my honest opinions about that is that, you know, it's fun. I like it, but I also kind of don't, because having to jump, like try to squat to jump, it feels very unnatural for me. That's just a me problem. That's because I don't work out. I don't go to the gym. This is all I do. So I can see why this is very appealing to a lot of people. And yeah, overall, I think it sits at a solid B. Good job, guys. I think great game. Next up, Downshot. I honestly have no idea what this game is. I've never played it. In my 5 years in the VR industry, I haven't seen this like a single time. But when I was looking at the list, this was, I think, number 18. I don't know how this got here. I don't know what you do. Can someone please explain to me in the comments? Because I'm not going to give something a rating that I have no idea about. So, you know, for that, you are going to sit right here. Next up, we have Bone Lab. Bone Lab is basically like Bonework. It's a Boneworks sport. You know this already. It's the MetaQuest version of Boneworks. It's pretty impressive for what it could do when it first released. However, honestly, I feel like there hasn't really been much. Of course, this is still kept alive by its community, but like, you know, Beyond Sandbox is gonna come in soon, and honestly, I think it is going to slam Bone Lab. Honestly, no contest, but the game is still impressive, so I'll give it also, you know, another B tier. So next up, we have Yeeps Hide and Seek. This is what I like to first consider the Gorilla Tag clone slash fan game slash whatever it is. And I know, don't go to the comments. I'm about to explain this. I have a bit of a gripes with the Yeeps community. I made a short about this a while back, but basically, I made 2 separate videos, both of which mentioned Yeeps, and in one of them, I called Yeeps a Gorilla Tag fan game, and in the other one, I didn't, and in both videos, I got called out because I didn't call it the other thing. So in one of them, they're like, Yeeps is not a fan game. How could you say this? You us. And in the other one, everyone's like, why didn't you include Yeeps in the Gorilla Tag fan games? What do you mean? You know, it's one of the biggest. Why is that? You get a D tier. Because I don't like you. Next up, Orion Drift. Now quickly, hold up. I'm going to preface this very quickly. I am in contact with the Orion Drift developers, and I have been in that community for a while. If you want the context behind it, I'll basically summarize it, but there are plenty of videos you can go watch. When the shutdown of Echo Arena happened, a lot of the community got picked up by another Axiom for this project, and so a lot of my people, my peeps, are over here. And of course, I'm going to be unbiased, but that's something that can only really be said by me. I trust you as a person can make your own judgments, and so I want to just, you know, throw out what might be biased here because, of course, you know, I'm kind of affiliated with the game. So Orion Drift, it's super fun. It uses the Gorilla Tag movement, but what's really awesome is that it's a 75-player social VR game. It has the main mode, which is Drift Ball, and that's kind of like a Rocket League-esque type of mode where it's kind of like soccer, except, you know, you're using Gorilla Tag movement and Echo VR boosters. Then we have the Parkour District, which, as the name suggests, is where you go to do parkour, and it also now houses one of my favorite modes, Capture the Beacon. Then on top of that, it also has a Club District, which is a place where you can play golf and volleyball. And overall, I think for a 2025 VR game with 75 player servers and all that content, that's a pretty darn good VR game. On top of that, it's being backed by the literal biggest VR developer in the entire world. And you know, you kind of have a recipe for what's going to be set up to be one of the biggest VR games on the entire platform. But that's going to take some time because, of course, this thing is still in early access and there was a lot of stuff that still needs to be worked on. Still, though, it's amazing. It still competes. There's a reason why it's one of the most popular. S tier. Next up after that, we got the first of our OGs, Blade and Sorcery, one of the original sandboxes, but it kind of does a little bit the opposite of what Boneworks does. Very quickly, it's just like, it's basically just a medieval sandbox. That's it. Has modding platforms, has Crystal Hunt, which was recently released, and it's super fun. Honestly, they've done a pristine job of keeping this game in the limelight, especially with everything that's happened with all these new games. And on top of that, it's paid. And you know that in the VR industry in 2025, apparently having your game cost anything other than free is just an absolute crime. So yeah, I think it's amazing, but I'm gonna put it at A tier. All right, and then after that, we have our second OG, Rec Room. I got some things to say about this one. So Rec Room was originally set up to kind of be the VRChat for kids, but what ended up happening is that it kind of went the Roblox route when it came to its company decisions. Now, the company decisions are, of course, company decisions. This is a pure review of the game, so I'm just going to be using what the game experience is currently like, and for that, the game is still pretty solid. It's got a good player base. Of course, you're still going to deal with the toxicities of a social VR game. There's plenty of content to consume and plenty of very talented creators who have made such amazing games as Escape Queso. And overall, I think it's a pretty fun time. However, recently, they implemented a new thing. It's called Maker AI. Now, this isn't going to be factored into my review, but I am going to talk about it as kind of an outsider to the Rec Room community. This is kind of my take on it. I don't necessarily like it as it is right now. I can see the vision. The vision is definitely there. You tell an AI, hey, make this, and it cuts down on production time like no tomorrow. This is used a lot in the content creation space. It's used in every space. No reason why it shouldn't be used in the VR space. However, the AI is not as advertised at the current moment, and so because of that, it's kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Because you're making all these promises like a big tech company, even though you don't have the venture capital funding to back it up. It honestly seems like they're kind of just trying to hop on the AI trend, like the whole like AI bubble that everyone's just throwing money at. And I think what Rec Room, because their player base is starting to dwindle and move to other VR games, is trying to do is receive some more venture capitaling funds, so then they can, of course, start, you know, getting people back in with better features and stuff like that. But still, other than that, if you just play it for free and you're just having fun, for the most part, it's not a bad time. I think you'd have some fun, especially if you bring some friends. B tier. And then following that up is the OG, the original, definitely not the copy, Roblox. So for those of you who don't know, a little while back, I want to say 1 to 2 years ago, Roblox actually released Roblox VR for this. So it's been pretty interesting to see how the Roblox community has reacted to Roblox VR because, well, they haven't. Not a lot of VR games have come out specifically for the MetaQuest or just VR headsets in general, and most of them now are kind of just hybrid games where you can play them on both flat screen and VR. And that's okay, you know, to each their own. Different platforms have different ways of consuming content, so I'm not going to fault it. But for the games that are currently available, it's just, oh my gosh, man. Could be so much better. C tier. Then after that, another OG, you already know it, it's Beat Saber. One of the literal, could be classified as like the VR game, because even if you don't own a VR headset, you obviously know what smacking blocks to music is like. And honestly, it's a fun time. I personally am not a fan of it, but I know plenty of people who are. And the experience for me, I don't have too much fun with it. Maybe it's just the fact that my brain is so attuned to, you know, this, that I don't necessarily enjoy just the... So, you know, for that reason, I'm going to put it at another B tier. It's okay. It's not necessarily representative of a full experience, and I would definitely encourage you to just try the game out first, but that's just my opinion on it. And then after that, we got every video essay YouTuber's favorite way to critique virtual reality, VRChat. I think we already know what type of diabolical crap goes on in this game. When someone comes to me and tells me that they just recently got a VR headset, I give them a couple pieces of advice just so they can have the most fun. One of the top ones at that list, though, is stay far, far away from VRChat. Just trust me, your life will be a lot better if you don't get it. And yeah, this game scares me eternally. F tier. And now we coming up at the home stretch. You already know what we gonna do. It's time to rank the one and only Gorilla Tag. I don't like it. I don't. And that's okay, because plenty of people don't. The gripe that I have with this game specifically is that it stole a lot of players from every other VR game ever. And that's not necessarily bad, because it also propelled VR to the place or stage that it was at today. Gameplay wise though, I mean, it's fun, you know? Same thing with Rec Room. Bring a bunch of your friends and you're gonna have a great time. Go into the public lobbies and C tier. And then following that, we have its number 2, another Gorilla Tag style movement game. But this time, hear me out, it's Lethal Company. Animal Company. It's every VR YouTuber's dream right now to go big on this game, because holy smokes, so much of the Gorilla Tag audience has moved over that you can basically make a full-time living now just playing Animal Company. But the game experience itself, I actually have tried this out, and it's not bad. I feel like it'd be a lot more fun if it wasn't restricted to Gorilla Tag movement per se, but I can obviously see why they did it, seeing as that makes the game like 10 times more marketable. So there's obviously a good rhyme and reason as to why it exists, but from my experience personally, it's just alright. B tier. And the last one, number 20 in the most popular list, I Am Cat. This is kind of just follows that mold once again of a Gorilla Tag style game, but this time you're playing as a cat. Your goal is to kind of just have fun, mess around with the grandma, do fun stuff. It's a pretty good time. It's gotten millions of views from one single creator. Shout out VR Central. But, you know, it's not for me. It just isn't, and that's okay. So I'm going to put it at a C tier. There it is, everyone. My tier list for the most popular VR games that are currently on the market. If you want to see me review more games, then please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so I know to do that. And yeah, I'm not sorry.